Hi, Kalpunpis here. We create God with our brains. This is the creator here. Now, our brains can't be altered, the thinking can be altered by the use of entheogen psychotropic substances. That's where religious beliefs come from. All religions in the world, since 5,000 years ago, all are due to the influence of these substances in our brains. That way we can see God. And this belief today is mental illness. It's no reason to. We are in the 21st century. This is a really good example.
Born with 4 arms and 4 legs, Lakshmi Tatma bears a striking resemblance to the goddess of wealth and fortune. But Lakshmi's extra limbs belong to a parasitic conjoined twin, and doctors don't see this rare, life-threatening medical anomaly as a blessing. A renowned orthopedic surgeon from Bangalore has examined Lakshmi and hopes to surgically separate her from her unformed twin. In the meantime, the Tatmas and Dr. Patil head to a local fair to celebrate the holy day of the goddess Lakshmi. Lakshmi sits opposite the shrine in plain view of those who worship her.
Believes that entheogens and these drugs have wrought. Here's the goddess Lakshmi, a product of the brain being under the influence of entheogens 5,000 years ago. Reality is distorted when we use drugs, affect the brain. We can see resurrecting saviors, many arms and legs, and many also penises and breasts. Some with many tits shooting milk over the mouth of saints like this Virgin Mary, and some with a lot of dicks, and to be played around by circumcision by this priest. And also we can see the snakes turning into penis like the god Apollo here represents, and winged angels with the Nike of Samothrace here, victory symbol, and many of them trying to protect his resurrected saviors, appearing to them, and here like Christ imitating them. Believing God is due to 3 things: genetic malformation, ignorance, or the ingestions of these things. Here are puppies that make you write Bibles and things, creating gods like Amanita muscaria. If you take the milk of the Bufo alvarius, you will see gods and many other things, delusions created by the brain.
Coming here, even coming by plane. Having seen this, it's my belief that she really is the goddess Lakshmi, and that explains all the money that's being spent around her.
Just like Christians in their pilgrimage, same thing.
Saba and Farah Shakir are the world's oldest surviving craniopithecus twins.
This poor woman, no doubt, will be worshipped as the god Janus, as seen in this church and in ancient times, and they will not survive thanks to Christian ignorance and retardation.
Conclusive data. The wait is agonizing for everyone.
Goddess is going to be separated, not because of religious psychosis, which stagnates the intellect, but because of science and our determination of finding out how life works.
Miller's seminal but flawed experiment in 1952, revealing how readily amino acids form. Other ideas about how life first began try to solve this fundamental mystery.
I think there may be many, many places where life could have arisen. I think it can arise deep underground in a hot, wet zone. I think it can arise on the floor of an ocean where maybe volcanic activity occurs.
These otherworldly worms, polyps, and plankton, surviving without sunlight or oxygen at depths of 10,000 feet and under pressures 1,000 times greater than the surface,
with christ-psychosis or a religious psychosis like Francis Collins, for instance, despite their PhDs and intelligence, they will believe in imaginary friends or intelligent designer creating life, which is absolutely a psychosis, no different.
But if James Ferris and his team can skip over the simple amino acids and focus on the reproductive molecules, why not skip over them too? And focus on the entire cell, boundary, metabolism, and reproduction. In other words, creating actual living things right in a lab. That's artificial life? And if so, what will that tell us about how life began on Earth?
Not even understanding the question of how life began on Earth, to having a fair guess of life's birthday, and a working knowledge of how it happened.
People with infected brains or infected with phase psychosis are unable to say, I don't know how life began, or they're studying everything through science and collective knowledge. No, they say, oh, an intelligent designer did it. Imaginary friend zombie Jesus did everything. So they belong in mental institutions. They are the problem in today's society. They are the cause of society.
First, they move the kidney from the twin into Lakshmi's body. Then neurosurgeons start the dangerous separation of Lakshmi. Once the parasite is removed.
When we separate this pelvic ring, we split it into two, we are left with only half of pelvis which have to be reconstructed.
That is science for you people.
On either side to enable the skeleton of the parasitic build.
Try to pray for all the things to happen and see if it works.
16 hours in, doctors read. Then, the arms.
There we go. The parasite is off.
Doctors finally free Lakshmi of her parasitic twin. It's a critical and anxious moment for the surgical team. For an instant in death, the twin achieves an individual identity it never had in life. After 19 stressful hours, it finally becomes clear. The operation is a success.
This operation was a success is thanks to science, collective knowledge done by our evolved, mutated primate brains. Collective knowledge through science. God doesn't exist. It's a psychosis. It's a deleterious, intolerance-producing, delusion-producing psychosis that must be extirpated from the human psyche. We create gods with our brains. This is very, very obvious. Religious beliefs, especially Christianity, the psychosis of Christianity, has been the cause of intolerance and intellectual stagnation. I suggest to the christ-psychotic people, or the ones that suffer from faith psychosis, to pray instead of using medicines and using the benefit of science produced by mentally healthy, also known as atheist brains. They belong in mental institutions because they don't realize that we created God with our brains. We are the true gods. They should realize that. It's been proven by neurology. They should learn. Pace di oro.